Perfect. Alright. So, let's preface. I don't watch any LCK ever. I usually just watch NA, LCS, and EU LCS. But given that LCK got to play on 6-6 before the playoffs for NA and EU, I kind of went back to watch some of the games that they played. And I looked at the rankings. Oops. I looked at the rankings and saw that both these teams are really high. So I was like, oh, this should be a pretty high-level game. So I decided to watch this. And make sure it's all right. I decided to watch this game or this series, and it was actually a really interesting series. I feel like there's a lot to talk about because it is one of those 6.6 things. Or it's one of the first 6.6. So I'll just get started right here. Corki is just a good ban because it's a solid lane, ton of late game damage. Nidalee is probably one of the three S tier junglers, probably one of the better ones, like considered the best. Lissandra eliminates the threat of the TP middle. Poppy is arguably the best top player right now, or the best top champion. Gangplank is understandable because some days a god, and Gangplank just does a ton of damage if you chain barrels. Last ban Trundle, you don't want your stats to get stolen. So they're hovering Echo right now. Oh, okay. So they hover Echo, which is super strong at 6.6 because of the low cooldowns and he can build tank. But they end up picking Kalista, who's pretty much the second best jungler right behind Nidalee. So that pick makes just a ton of sense because it's so strong. Rammus isn't as strong anymore just because there's so many other top laners like Echo and Maokai. Trundle's banned, so you don't have to worry about him. Sivir's the best ADC right now, I think, in my opinion. She's just the best team fighter. Lucian and Kalista are also up there, though. Like, those are like the three best ADCs to pick. Yeah, Maokai comes into play because of the increased magic resistance and the scaling, and then Sivir. So they're picking a really strong strong tank top laner with one of the best team fight AD carries. The only problem with Sivir is that her range is super low, so she's kind of vulnerable in that sense. Nautilus is an interesting pick. I think that there's better picks than Nautilus. But Nautilus is totally fine because he's super tanky and brings very reliable CC. Alistar's like just between Alistar and Braum, pretty much always gonna be picked, except with some exceptions, obviously. But Nautilus is a super interesting pick because he kind of he doesn't fall out of the meta, but he gets equaled out by like the Maokai buffs and the Echo buffs and stuff. So I'm not a big fan of that pick because I think that you could just pick Poppy and do the same thing except have way more damage. Like I said, Alistar and Braum are pretty much always going to be picked. The Elise, they obviously have they obviously want like this reliable CC because the Graves is a better jungler, a lot better actually. So much more damage and can duel Kindred a lot easier. But Elise has the opportunity to outplay Kindred and everything, so it's fine. Like, this is a totally fine pick. Kalista, strong ADC, brings utility, engage. LeBlanc is I'm not a fan of LeBlanc, the LeBlanc pick blind, because Azir is in meta right now, and A lot of people will say like, "Oh no, LeBlanc wins that lane pretty hard," but I think it's pretty difficult to win, and I'm pretty sure that they end up picking Azir. Rise is a pocket pick, but I'm pretty sure they pick Azir. Azir just makes the most sense because then you can just team fight forever and almost never worry about it. Syndra would be fine in LeBlanc. Ahri would be fine in LeBlanc. Those are all skill matchups. Show me Azir. Yep. Okay. So their team comp is super duper good. Like, best mid laner, best ADC, one of the best top laners, best available jungler, interesting mid laner, utility ADC that also can team fight pretty well. It kind of the weird pick out of this whole comp. I think LeBlanc is fine. I think Nautilus is a worse pick than LeBlanc, but at this point you have to kind of look at the teams and say what is our win condition. So KT's win condition, they can team fight forever, and ROX are more of a skirmish squad because of the LeBlanc and Callista. So I would look for ROX to be kind of aggressive around the jungle mid lane during the lane swap, if they do lane swap. I think they do. Versus against the Azir Elise. Giving them their super team. I don't think LeBlanc is. LeBlanc isn't good in the meta right now because you just have to clear waves as a mid laner, and she can't clear waves reliably. So that's just like, it's a strong pick for your lane, but once the lane is done, you're fucked. Your team is fucked. You're relying on LeBlanc and Callista to wave clear, and maybe Nautilus. Your team essentially has to be there for you to clear waves. So they just kind of have basic starts, just finding where everyone's like watching motion, like the whole line down each that they both had, and then ROX just decides like, hey, we're gonna lane swap. Why do they lane swap though? Are they afraid of the lane matchup that they are they would be pretty dominant in? Like, I don't understand this lane swap. I think that they just want to accelerate the game, but that doesn't make sense because once Azir gets an item, I think these guys, KT's first item power spikes are way bigger than ROX. Like, Azir is undoubtedly stronger first item. I guess Sivir and Callista are the not. But Someday and Shmeb, I feel like Someday is definitely stronger first item. And Elise is definitely stronger because he's gonna Peanut goes Devourer, I think, which he should. Level 1 shenanigans from the support. Makes sense. Oop. So mid lane just farms pretty much until lane swap's done. KT kind of wins the lane swap because Maokai keeps Alistar away in this tri-bush. I don't know if I didn't point that out. But he keeps them out right here, so Elise can do the red buff after they had already done wraiths. So that's like super strong. Whereas ROX has to just leave the wraith camp there. So definitely look forward to Elise. Like, look towards Elise picking up this wraith camp. It's just like more farm, more gold for Elise versus Peanut, or score versus Peanut. This is really unfortunate that the Kindred camp spawns against like on the opposite side that they swapped against, but that's kind of part of the risk you have to take when you're just deciding to blind lane swap. Azir's just going to push LeBlanc in. She's not going to do anything. Some days a little bit late on this rotation, but I'm pretty sure Sever and Braum have been hitting this turret for longer, so it really won't matter. Yeah. I think KT's actually ahead on it. There's Elise going to pick up the extra camp. Kindred is now walking to golems up top side, so I guess it's fine. Cheeky. So they trade turrets at pretty much the same time. So I don't understand why everyone bounces this wave right here. I think you should actually push the wave right into the second turret. I think that if Maokai and Nautilus are doing it right now, but you just push and get all the farm before their lane can come and stop you from getting the farm. Crow's just getting super aggressive, but he's just trying to set up the game for Peanut, but Fly's like, nah, I'm good. Like, pretty normal CS. I mean, very little differences. This is where Sivir Braum excels in the lane swap, which is why I'm not entirely sure why ROX switched. Maybe they were anticipating the lane swap, but they're pushing. They can push this wave so much faster, so they can just go take this turret. Right now, Elise could be, Elise and Maokai could be doing this Rift Herald, and then while Sivir and Braum are pushing this one, you bring all 4 of your teammates up to here because they're not even attacking this turret yet. So I don't even think you should put Maokai there yet. I think Maokai should help Elise get this Rift Herald, and then bring both of them down to the second tier turret because you're gonna force them to back off of this turret. If they'll probably trade it about the same time because they'll want to bounce it, but just leave the Sivir Braum up there. I should pause this. Back up. Okay, so right now, I think they even hit it before then. Okay, so right now you have to just look at the map, and you see that Sivir and Braum are already in the middle, like at the river for the top lane, and Alistar and Kalista are just now starting to push it, so they're at golems. Maokai, you know that Nautilus is going to go straight to this turret and push it. And Maokai is going to have to do the same thing. But what they should do instead is Elise should be walking to this Rift Herald right now. Maokai and Elise should do the Rift Herald while Sivir and Braum are still pushing this turret because they're so far ahead in the push. These turrets are going to go down at about the same time, and you're going to have a decent wave stack. So you bring all 4 of your team down to here and push the second tier turret because they have to recall. ROX has to recall to stop you from taking that turret, and if they don't, then you just get this tier 2 for free. And I don't think that they could push that quick enough, given how far behind they are. But what they do is fine, but it's just like you could get a bigger lead out of what has been going on, like a turret lead, or you're getting a turret and Rift Herald because they definitely can't do drag if you do that. Like they're just getting to this turret now, and Maokai's been there.
Doesn't need to use any of his summoners though. So we'll have to back. He's getting punished in the Azir matchup. So far so good from a fly perspective.
Just push mid lane.
While Kuro goes back. And it looks like we're just gonna trade turrets again probably. Yeah, we're seeing pretty much the same pace on both sides. We'll have to track to see if there's any differences in getting
the pace. The pace is so important. I think Deficio actually started that turn. So if they had the Rift Herald right now, if they would have already done this Rift Herald rather than messing around in mid, They could just push this turret down, push this wave down, bring it up here.
We need to grab the Rift Herald too. Herald Rift. The Rift Herald, you know, we often are dismissive of its power, but on a team with Sivir in particular, it can be very powerful. I think the second Rift Herald onwards you should give to the Sivir as an instant wave clear into really good turret threat with the buff coming through for the attack speed.
But because they just let ROX catch up for free, now they lose out on this dragon too, which just doesn't make sense. Just like in early season 4, I think early season 4, where you just had the 4v0 split push or the 4v0. Rift Herald enables that. A lot of teams haven't picked up on that, but Rift Herald 100% enables you to do the 4v0. And whichever team gets the Rift Herald wins the 4v0. Like, this wave right here is giant. If you have all 4 people up there, the only way they're going to stop you from at least chunking this turret is by sending LeBlanc up there. Sending LeBlanc up there. Because even if all 4 of them show, you'll still get a decent amount of damage. But instead they just kind of, what they do is they bring Rift Herald down bottom. So right now this wave is giant. Like this wave, not giant, but this wave is pretty big. So they already know that they're about to push this instead. Which, I mean, I guess it's all the same. I just think that you should be more proactive with that Rift Herald right away. Like, I think early Rift Heralds are super undervalued. Super undervalued. Everyone always says that the dragon is more important, but I think having your minions attack a lot faster and you get the damage increase, it just makes more sense for me to do the Rift Herald, especially if the other team is. That's a minor misplay. But if the other team is initiating the lane swap, and they give you Rift Herald off the second part of the lane swap, you should win the lane swap. Peanut just sits around mid. They've given up their entire jungle right now to send all 4 of them bot, which wouldn't happen if they were doing that up here instead. This is Peanut just playing Kindred how you're supposed to play Kindred.
Takes out the red bramble back. It's not really a bramble back, though. It's more like a red, sort of glowy back. It's a red bramble in the bramble pit. Yep. Word on the street. Taken by Peanut.
So KT could be a lot further ahead, but they're not. They have a lot of damage on this turret, though, which is really good for them. And I'm pretty sure Azir has a decent amount of damage on mid. Yeah, that turret's almost gone. Jesus. They could have taken it. They would have taken it if they would have done the top move that I said. This is really good. They know that there's no wards down there. He just pushed that far, and his wave is massive. So one of two things are going to happen. Nautilus is going to want to push this out and make sure that the freeze doesn't happen, or he's just going to get frozen out and lose a ton of CS.
He's tanky Nautilus, so he's going to ult Score. Score takes some damage. Chani throws up the shield for some blocking. Smeb getting even lower in first blood, taken by Someday.
This is Someday just not realizing that LeBlanc is coming.
Someday didn't lose a whole lot of health, though. Here comes Kuro to finish off Someday. Probably going to get it. Yep, there's the kill for LeBlanc.
And Fly is just like, WTF, mate. Even though I should have just pushed mid.
Here comes now the shield for some long. He's tanking up. In the top lane, Peanut is there, as is Gorilla, but
they know he's there and they know they're coming up.
So he's gonna ult Score. Score takes some damage.
They could all just get out. They could have all left so early. Like, instead of doing this play and trading 1-for-1, they could have actually just taken that one, and Someday could have just like walked away now. Azir could have stayed mid, pushed this. I don't know why Kalista is walking top right now, expecting like something else to happen, but Sivir should just spam push this right now. Oh, I remember this. fucking Kuro just cocky as shit. Face checks that bush. I don't know why he was there.
Get away now. I don't know. Nope, not quite.
It didn't make any sense, but whatever.
That's an interesting question. We talked about potentially ROX Tigers with their spot in the final guaranteed, taking the foot off the pedal, and I'm not necessarily going to accuse them of that just yet, but uncharacteristic over-aggression. Simba.
I would say over-aggression is the opposite of taking your foot off the pedal. Contest the fucking Kindred stack. That's really... Arrow does like something that no low MMR person would do, and he starts fighting him, making it seem like he's got backup on the way, so Peanut has to leave.
Backup that wouldn't necessarily be able to take him down so close. The result is has to back away. It's a little over a minute until the next dragon comes up.
This is a free Rift Herald. You have both lanes pushed, and your top laner is recalling. Just do the Rift Herald, right? They do it now, I think. I think they do. They should. There's no reason not to do the Rift Herald. Rift Herald, and then rotate your bot lane back down here. Get dragon control. Like rotate all three of these people after down to the dragon area and get dragon control because they're not pushing out these lanes. This is actually slow pushing in favor of KT, I think, right now. Oh, it's going to push against KT. So Nautilus should just not push this wave. Or push it one more. Don't push this next wave. No, don't push that next wave. Just stand by it. I hope he's not pushing it. I wish I could tell. I think Callista pushed out bot lane too soon. Because Sivir can just wave clear.
Dragon is up. Okay. This Tiger's getting a little bit done. KT didn't really
How did that happen? It's a back timer right now. Okay.
Someday is certainly the battle tree. We'll give him that title.
Okay, so Azir backs for a Fiendish Codex right now. I wonder how much gold LeBlanc has. I wonder if this back is worth it for the dragon timer. Because they're pretty confident that their turret's not going to fall. So he's kind of saying like this Fiendish Codex is going to help a lot if we skirmish for dragon. But while that happens, KT clears out dragon wards, so they kind of have they take this little bit of damage on mid turret for losing dragon control.
Relevance of his name comes into question. What about when he's playing Anivia? Walking around? If he's playing Corki, it's okay too. That's true.
KT just keeps spamming waves. Yeah. So that little bit of damage on the mid tower was not worth it at all because they just lost all of this. They lost their dragon control entirely. This is awesome. I love when top laners take camps. I think it's super underrated. If you're a top laner that can tank a camp and do it pretty easily, you should do it. I don't think they finished this turret off. But this is good use of the Rift Herald buff. Yeah, they don't get it because they'll... I don't think it's a bad ult. You don't expect to fight for anything. You don't expect to fight for Rift Herald or Dragon because they both just got taken. You just tell your team like, hey, just clear middle, don't fight. But Azir's just gonna put in the man hours on their team.
Stay alive, but remember, ROX Tigers very low outer mid lane turret, and we noted before very low bot lane inner turret as well. So turret damage advantage to KT. Couple of picks, it's going to be A lot of global gold going through to KT, and the map control they'll get if they can specifically get this out of mid lane turret with the low wave play on the side of ROX Tigers.
KT pings this out because it's pushing against him, so eventually it's gonna hit this turret. And when if it does slow push the whole time, the turret's gonna be, or that wave will be massive. Probably will be able to take the turret out.
Another item, specifically the Blade, the Ruin King. Team fighting.
But as ROX, you know that they have to go clear it. That's why LeBlanc is coming down here. LeBlanc is like, go ahead and do it, but then Braum comes and keeps Sivir safe enough just by his presence there.
Other than that, everyone just kind of milling around the mid lane for the moment. There's no big map objectives to take aside from the mid lane turrets right now.
So often ROX Tigers are playing these super proactive comps. You know, they're getting a big advantage in the early game.
Oh man.
This game, Peanuts are ahead in CS, but doesn't really have many kill involvement.
Swifties on Sivir, and Kalista. That's crazy.
Turret HPs as well, so it feels like for once they're very much on the defensive.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. This is one of the rare games where the ROX Tigers have been behind in gold in 15 minutes after being like usually way ahead.
I think KT just gives Peanut free Kindred stacks. It doesn't make any sense. This is good. They're setting up to take this turret. They're going in and warding together. They get deep vision in here so that they can just take this bot turret and then rotate to middle. I don't know if that's what they do, but that's what it seems like they're setting up to do. They have ridiculous amount of wards down here. And they're stronger right now, so they can just go in and walk into this jungle right now with confidence like Chance the Rapper. Oh, that was a great Braum ult. I forgot about that. But that's just a free tower. Azir's tower is up. I don't know why you dive. Just leave. Yep. Cut your losses, right? Oh, this is something that the casters didn't notice. Motherfucking Nautilus TP's in and Maokai is already there. This is why this push is huge. Like, Maokai's already in mid lane and Nautilus has to TP there. This turret's free already. If you're expecting the fight, you should already have TP'd. Now they just have to leave. They can't do anything. Now Nautilus doesn't have TP and Maokai does. I don't know if KT saw it. I imagine that they did. Let's see if they ping anything. They don't ping anything, but I imagine that they see it. I'm just going to assume that they see it because he teleported from vision there. He teleported on a turret that I'm pretty sure that they could see. So now, when does Dragon come up? Regardless, Maokai can now push out top. You can make a play bot. This is what they do, though. They're doing exactly what they should do, but they're making this play they're trying to make this play way too soon. There's no way that they've set this like they've planned this far ahead, and they're just saying like, oh, LeBlanc's really far up, I can do this. After Peanut flashes right here, Peanut's like, all right, I can kill him. After Peanut flashes, shit, they've already channeled this TP. I just wouldn't TP there. I don't see the benefit in TPing there because by the time you get there, you're going to not be able to reach Peanut unless you flash for it, which is totally fine. Like that, but he gets greedy and he goes for Kuro. He goes for the LeBlanc and they get the kill. Arrow gets that kill. Now he flashes in on the LeBlanc and is just like, someday. What? They should have taken their time and done exactly what they did on the mid turret. You know that this turret's low. Just rotate all three of these guys bot. At least Elise, Sivir, and Braum. Rotate them bot. Push this turret. And then when the minions get in range, if ROX is posturing like they're going to engage, or you think you might be, or you get a ward like back here or even back in this lane, all you got to do is drop Maokai in behind them because he's already pushing, and he can definitely push against the Nautilus. He can TP in behind, point click snare, and it's a turret into a kill. But instead they're trying to force this play a little too soon. Arrow flashes for that kill. Now Someday making weird plays. I don't know why he does that. I don't get that. Now instead you let Nautilus just push out top for free. You trade 1 for 1. You lose your teleport. Like that was. ROX actually does win that because of that fucked up teleport. That's just Someday being like, oh, kills. You can take it slow and just fuck. You can take it slow. You already have the lead. As KT's comp, you don't have to really worry about them outscaling you. Like, what are you worried? What champion are you worried about outscaling you? The Kindred versus the Elise matchup is the only one you're gonna get outscaled in, really. Every other matchup you win. So just take it slow, set these plays up, and do it right. You feel obliged, yeah, you do. But you have, what, a 5-minute interval to make the play? 5 minutes is more than enough time. 5 minutes is enough time to be like, alright, Maokai. Maokai and Elise. Fuck this. This play just makes me super mad because they do so well in this mid play to set this all up, and Smeb fucks up by teleporting in, which is like not that big of a. Smeb didn't fuck up that much because he's just trying to save his team and everything. But KT just does everything right, and I feel like they throw it away really hard down here. What they can do now is send Maokai up there. There. Okay. So Maokai's walking right past Rift Herald, and he even tells his team, "Hey, Rift Herald's up." Send Maokai top. Have him push this wave. Send Elise top. Start doing the Rift Herald. Maokai comes down, helps him. Reset. Have everyone reset. Send Maokai back up top. Send Elise, Sivir, Braum bottom. Azir can just wave clear in mid. He's got the turret even to help him. So if Azir needs to, Azir can even go down bot. If you want to make this like a 5-man dive on this bot tier 2 that's already low, that's totally fine. But what you do is you bring this Elise up to here to do the Rift Herald after Maokai pushes top, or even like beforehand. It really doesn't matter. And then you reset, send those 3 bot, get the wards that you need, TP in behind them, take the turret, maybe get some kills on top of it. Instead, they do this bullshit. Oh, we got this pick. Okay. Okay, Someday you're getting the LeBlanc. All right, the LeBlanc's really far away. Okay. All right, flash underneath the turret. Nice. Oh, you're CC'd. Okay, good play. Oh, Nautilus is also pushing top.
Another kill on the Kuro certainly isn't bad for ROX Tigers.
Important to note that Smeb cancelled his teleport and managed to get free farm in the top lane. He's going to be able to push this lane and reset. ROX Tigers invested.
I thought he was about to do that camp.
To go even, so you have to give the very slight advantage to ROX on the skirmish that we saw on us.
Oh, yes, that's amazing. This would happen, but it would happen after you take a bunch of shit down here.
That's a really good teleport coming through from Someday, and Peanut's just too far forward.
Oh, okay, whatever.
This early in the game.
Crazy with that dive.
That shit makes me so mad. Especially being like the second team in Korea. Like, Motherfucker, dude. Just make the right play off the start.
Your teleport and you can
Dude,
see
don't try and force shit.
and use it.
Unless you know you can force it and not fuck it up.
Ended up just over pursuing him. The result's the 1-for-1 trade.
Now score, it's like, we gonna do this Rift Herald or what?
Well, KT's going to get the third Rift Herald in the row.
Free Rift Herald.
Line up from KT. Look at the beautiful line of wards from the top side of the mid lane down. And even
Rift Herald's free all the time. Like, in whatever game you play, no one cares about Rift Herald.
Think about the sum total of what ROX have achieved in the early game. It's not a lot.
Smeb's dead. That's just...
Early game.
They ping...
Mid lane down. Line up.
That's the worst part, is that they ping that Elise is there.
Has to be careful in his own jungle now.
Ping.
KT's going to get the
They pinged it like 3 times.
Pink ward line up from KT. Look at the beautiful line of wards from the top side.
Why are you pushing this far? You know he didn't leave.
jungle now. Well,
You know he didn't just back.
jungle now. KT's going to get the third Rift Herald in the row.
Like the pink ward line up from
After walking up right there, you know that he didn't back.
top side of the mid lane down. And even this
You know that he just walked down. How far down did he walk? You haven't seen him mid yet. You have to respect that.
Score. Coming in, they force a flash.
Nice flash.
Is ready, though.
Nice cocoon.
Be in a bit of trouble.
Nice CC chain.
Trouble a lot. Nice anchor. Tries to get away, trying to get back to some of his teammates, but nobody's really around. So
Of course no one's around. They're taking the dragon though, which is good. That's a good play by ROX. Like, yeah, kill our tank. We're just gonna take our second dragon.
Watching the minimap was really indicative of the ROX Tigers shot calling. You saw Kuro starting to cheat up when he saw the chase coming through, then instantly got a call to go to mid, the way towards dragon. They realized they could swap one kill.
I don't get why he goes scoreless challenges point. I think stalkers, I think it's called, the ward one. The warding knife, whatever it is. I think that's just better. The only time challenging might make sense is if you're playing Kindred or Graves.
Still has a 3,000 gold lead right now.
Bullshit.
But,
Okay.
We go farther in the game. More even it stays. I think the better the game is for ROX Tigers in the end.
He's quite telling. That's actually really impressive. He's certainly not been looking for counter games, making proactive moves. He will have his Devourer at a really good timing. And when I was watching the VODs from last week, I was taking note of when Devourers are coming through, and a snowball Devourer averaged around 18 to 19 minutes. So for a delayed Devourer to be finished at maybe 23 minutes into the game, lets you know that the farming mindset has definitely been observed by people.
Of course it's been observed. He doesn't have any lane to gank.
Right now, scoring.
His lanes are just getting fucking shit on.
Score, though, with that little level advantage just due to
They just keep getting pushed in, and he just is like, oh, I'm just gonna farm instead.
kills.
Can't help him. Why would I do that?
Found 50
This is a dope engage.
in the farm numbers. If you look,
I love watching Alistair flash engage.
Tigers have actually found 50
He's like, oh, fuck that. Oh, don't lag. No. No.
sets more. Oh
Whoa,
boy.
Okay.
Gorilla with the engage. Fly in trouble. Headbutt use, but Fly.
I love that
pushes
engage.
above the Emperor's Divide.
It's just
Looking
overzealous.
there by Smeb's ultimate. Everybody low. Lambs spite trying to get that heal off. There we go. KT chasing ROX Tigers back. Everybody
What's their
low.
vision
Lambs
like?
Sets more. Oh boy.
Whoa, Gorilla with
They're doing this, but I don't think they have any vision on any of these 3 people. They just know that Maokai's down there. But if they timed his TP, they know that his TP's literally about to come up.
Tigers have actually found 50 sets more. Oh
Whoa,
boy.
Gorilla with
Okay,
the engage.
flash.
Fly in trouble. Headbutt use,
Okay.
but Fly pushes people out with the Emperor's Divide.
So I like that engage. I like to watch that kind of engage, but I didn't like that engage.
Back down the mid lane though. Someday, meanwhile, split.
Now someday it's just gonna push bottom.
Tigers tried to engage there, but it didn't work out.
What?
5v4 didn't find anything. KT
Oh, they bait this burn.
Ward around Baron.
It's a good bait.
Can't afford the
Super good bait.
Peanut. Crying for a face check.
Gorilla right there. They're gonna jump right
Oh.
into him. They know Alstar has no ult. They blow him up immediately. And now KT on
Good
the run.
TP.
Nice
Good
No ult.
TP.
Blow him up immediately. And now KT on the run. Nice TP.
And Nautilus doesn't know any better.
And now KT on the run.
Great call. Nautilus is just, well, Smeb just won't. Sorry, guys. We fucked up. That flash engage really fucked us right there. Free Baron. They get that mid turret for it, though, so it's worth, right?
Tight KT Rolster team so far in this game.
Draven,
I don't know, man. I think that whole telecom
business sense by having out a mid lane turret down earlier and using it with great success.
So I think with Baron buff, you just take all these outers. I think they do more than that with it, but this one's like 2-shot. This one's gonna be easy with Azir, and then you have to rotate top. The top one would be the hardest. They could at least get 2.
Abuse that level 3 power spike. Go for the early trade. Maybe try and contest an early buff. Go for an early kill. Then go towards farming. But it's purely been farming from Peanut. And for once, we see a game where a Devourer Kindred, specifically Peanut on a Devourer champion, the lack of pressure he's put on the map has really been demonstrated because the turret lead, it's only a single turret, but the
rotate mid now. Put the Azir turret up.
KT has run the first 25 minutes pretty much single-handed.
yeah, I mean, it is kind of worrisome. It seems like if we saw
They don't even need to put the. They should, but they don't need to put it up. They haven't yet. Alright, I'm pretty sure this is where ROX TP's in. They're trying not to get choked out. Horrible engage to start it off, but hey, they're doing it. They're in there. Oh, Gorilla's gone.
Nice auto attacks in. The ROX Tigers have to back away. A kill for Arrow already. And KT with the edge in this fight. There go the Sand Soldiers. A kill for Hachani. And KT crushing the...
I'm not going to comment on like the fights, just because like it's nothing about what I say about the fights matters, because in the heat of the moment you're not going to teach someone how to fight. Like right now, the only thing is like a coach that you could do is help them kind of develop their macro play right here. You could like try and fix the small like minutia things, but I don't think like I think that's stuff that is meant for solo queue. Like that's what the point of solo queue is, fine tuning your mechanics and shit. But like as a coach, you can like help them set this up. And when I originally watched this game, I thought, well, cut your fucking losses, right? Like, just cut your... They're going to take that turret. They have the Baron buff. You kind of just have to wait the Baron buff out. No matter what. You're almost... Or you're 4.5k down, which isn't that much. But they have the superior fighting team. They have more CC on their team. They have all 5 people there. Gorilla's engaging, and the TP is not like the TP is just there. Gorilla's down to like 600, 700 health. Peanut has 200 health. So it's like this fight is just such a bad fight. I think you just, me personally, I would keep the Nautilus up top to either try and push this turret or just have him back and defend your inhib or this top turret. Don't force this fight because Peanut still has 200 health. Brahms Q almost could have just killed that bitch. Brahms Q right here could have just killed Peanut if he hits it. His Lamb's Respite does nothing. Like that forcing that just doesn't make sense to me in that game. Yup. Okay. Well, KT played well, like a lot better than ROX, but I think that... Oh, fuck, you guys couldn't have seen the map, could you? Oh, fuck. For next time. But KT played well, like way better than ROX. But they definitely had some stuff that they could work on, because I feel like they forced stuff when they didn't need to. And that's it.